Hello, 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 and welcome to the CUP Ringside, part of the CUP Network, where we give you the best seat in the house on all things wrestling, and we're giving you the best seat in the house on all things SmackDown this week. We are talking about SmackDown, May 31st, 2024, and we're excited to talk about it. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I'm currently drinking some juice in my cup here. And of course, I have water standing by because hydration is important. But if I was drinking anything else, I would probably be drinking it out of my cup mug. Uh-huh. Ooh, panel full of cup mugs. Panel full of cup mugs. Peer. Because it's just me. Y'all get to deal with me again. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I love talking to you guys about SmackDown because it is the A show. Per. Uh, but I'm here talking about SmackDown, like I said, and I'm excited that you're here with me. We appreciate you stopping by and checking us out. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We're a new channel here, and we're trying to build up our subscriptions and get on the algorithm. So help us out. Do me a favor, and I mostly appreciate you so much. If you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we drop a single video because we put videos out every single week. We have Raw Take on Tuesdays. We have Who's NXT on Wednesdays, and we have Laying The Smackdown on Saturdays. And in the sprinkle in the middle of that, every time we have a PLE, we have a predictions and a recap video. And then we have our mid card videos, which sometimes our top tens, our tier list, or our documentaries discussions. So check all of those out. You'll know when they come out if you hit that subscribe and notification bell. And we appreciate you. So we are here, like I said, we're talking about SmackDown. It is the coronation of the Queen of the Ring because that's how this episode started. Nick Aldis was out and he was welcoming everybody to the show, and he brought out Nia Jax, who was going to be coordinated, who was going the words hard apparently, who was going to be talking about was going to have her coordination for winning Queen of the Ring after she defeated Lyra Valkyria at the King and Queen of the Ring tournament in Saudi Arabia. So that was happening. So she came out and she demanded that Bailey joins her because she has some words to say to Bailey. And Bailey was like, absolutely, I'm coming. So she's coming out to the ring. And as she's heading out there, she is attacked by Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. And they told Jax it would be Niven facing Jax at SummerSlam because she was going to take the title from Bailey. And Jax ended up saying, it doesn't matter. I'm going to beat whoever I face. So if it's you, if it's her, I don't care. I'm going to beat you anyway. So that was that. So the first match of the night was booked before the show. And we had a segment with Johnny Gargano and Ciampa. And they were going to take on Austin Theory take on Austin Theory, and with Grayson Waller by his side, of course. It was a decent match. It was pretty standard, you know. It was a good move. We had some signature moves here and there. Ciampa was getting tore up. His neck was getting tore up here at like mid match. Austin Theory did something and it hurt his neck, and so he just stayed on that, and he was having some real problems. And so this match ended in an interesting way because it was weird because the announce sirs were what Corey and Bear not I'm getting his name. Why am I forgetting his name? Oh, that's so bad. Oh no, not me forgetting this man's name. I'm seeing his face and everything. But anyway, I won't. Corey was talking to Wade Barrett. Okay, there it is. I knew it was coming. It's coming. I had a brain fart for a second. But Wade Barrett was talking about how Austin Theory has one weakness, and because they were like physique wise, he has no flaws. He's very strong. He's very, very well put together. He is strong, but his one weakness is that he still gets distracted. And it was like right when they said that, or a little bit after they said that, Grayson Waller was going over to the announce table and was saying, you see, because they had mentioned that Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory were in a fashion together down up in NXT together, and that they used to be really tight. And Johnny Gargano knows all of his strengths, all of his weaknesses, blah blah blah. And Waller goes over to the announce table and was like, "Yeah, I'm the reason he is strong. You see, Johnny Gargano was holding him back. I'm the reason he's moving so far in his career. I'm like taking credit for Austin Theory's success and all that stuff." So Austin was like, "What? Why would you say that?" So he's looking at Waller like, "Why would you even say something like that?" And Waller was like, "Wait, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it to go." And during the distraction, Ciampa was able to use him and use the distraction to score the win. And it was interesting. It was interesting. So Austin Theory was just looking at Grayson Waller like, why would you even say something like that? That is not even. And he's like, no, I didn't mean it like that, bro. I kind of mean it like whatever. But Ciampa wins. And we heard next week Johnny Gargano is going to go against Grayson Waller. And eventually I feel like they're going to go for the titles soon. So that was that. We saw backstage AJ Styles asked Nick Aldis for some time on the mic. He looked emotional, and we've been hearing about these retirement rumors all week long. Everybody kept saying AJ's about to retire. And so we were like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. And so Nick told him he can have the mic later on. And there's that. So the next match of the night was against Apollo Crews and Andrade. Now, I knew what was getting ready to happen when Apollo got their intro. He was just in the ring like, yeah, we gonna do this, baby. We gonna do this, baby. And I'm like, okay. And then Andrade got this big, his entrance, as well as the backstage when he was coming in. They showed earlier today he was coming in, and Angel was there and was like, hey, we have decided to let bygones be bygones. We gonna put all of our differences aside. We want you in our group, in Legado del Fatisma. Everybody's ready. The boss is interested. We're all, And Andrade was like, okay. So he just walked away. He's like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. And he kind of walked away. And so we get back to the match. The match itself they were too powerful and high flyers, and so they're both moving and grooving. It was an exciting match to watch because who does not love a good high flying match? Like me personally, I love it when they can just go and they can, I love a good match where people are flying all over the place and taking people down, and it's not just a, strong man. It's like boom, flying and hitting, and they, hitting all these spots, they get moonsaults, and it was really good. Like they're both big men, but they can hit moonsaults. Like what? And off the top rope, and slide, suicide dives. They can do it all, and they're big. I love that. So it was fun to watch the different exchanges between both wrestlers, and it was a good match. I honestly thought it was a really good match between the two. But then Angel Garza shows up at ringside to cheer on Andrade, and he he picked up the win. Well, he won. He distracted Apollo a little bit, and Andrade wins, and the whole Legado del Fatisma crew is out there. Santos is up there clapping for him. He's like, "Yeah, I like him. He's good. He's good." And Angel's like, "See, I told you, he's good. He's good." And they were at the top of the ring, at the top of the aisle. They were waiting on him to come and, be a part of their fashion. And Andrade came up and he just walked right past him. Didn't even look at Santos, didn't stop, just looked right at him and just kept on going. And Angel was like, "Wait, what? Wait, no, let me fix it. Let me fix it. I got it. Let me fix it." And so he went off to go find Andrade. Santos looked like he was like, "Are you kidding me? We offer you a position and you walk right past, like, who you think you are?" So it was kind of like, yeah, well, all right. So we get another backstage. We get a backstage segment where Naomi goes to check on Bailey, see if she's all right. Bailey's like, "I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." She was like, "You good to fight?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm always good to fight. I'm good, right, Doc?" Doc was like, "Yeah, you good. You cleared." So she was like, "I'm going to go talk to Nick, and I'm going to go get this together so we can get a match between uh, um, Piper and Chelsea." And then as Bailey, then that was happened. And then we get Cruz going off on Angel. And, well, that was later. But so then we get a segment with Paul Heyman and Solo and Tama Tonga. And so Tama is like, getting ready for whatever's about to happen, his match he's going to have. And Solo till Paul Heyman goes to Solo and it's like, "Look, you just can't be out here just having violent rages for nothing. Everything needs to be planned, and it needs to be strategic, and it has to have a purpose." And he was like, "When Roman was here, we didn't just go and do acts of violence just for the heck of it. It was planned. And all the plans were run through me for a strategic aspect. And if it made sense, if it was, made sense for what the goal is." And he was kind of like, "This doesn't, what you're doing right now is actions and violence, but no strategy. And we need to have a strategy." And so Solo was like, "Oh, there's a strategy. There's always a strategy. And I got it. I got this. This is a strategy and I'm working on it. You just do what you're supposed to do." And so then we see Kevin Owens on the monitor coming out. And he was like, "You need to fix that." And he was like, "What?" Like, "You got to go fix that. That's the problem. You need to go fix." So Kevin goes out to do a promo and talk about Randy Orton and how he didn't really lose King of the Ring, but since the Viper wasn't there, he was going to focus his time on the Bloodline instead, and not on the King of the Ring and the debacle and all of that. And so then Paul Heyman comes out and like, hey, look, Kevin, you need to stop focusing on the Bloodline. You need to put your focus elsewhere because it's you don't want something bad to happen to you. Like, I'm telling you this for your own safety. You need to focus on something else and not the Bloodline. So Kevin was like, what? What? Are you crazy? Like, what am I supposed to be scared of? Who am I scared of? The Bloodline has done way more to me, before, and I'm still here. So I ain't scared of them. I ain't scared of whatever they got coming for me. Bring it on. Whatever they got, bring it on. And so he's like being very defiant. Like, I'm not listening to what you have to say, Paul. Like, what you're saying is not making sense to me because I have been fighting with this Bloodline for almost a year now, and they have done way worse to me. And I'm supposed to just roll over and die and be scared? Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So, of course, the Bloodline comes out, and they're looking at Kevin like, which, all right, he warned you. He warned you. And just as Kevin was standing in the ring by himself, and then the Bloodline was about to go get him, in comes the Street Profits. And they're like, now it's even. Let's do this. So Solo goes and tells Tama and Tao to go in there. To go in there, get them. Just go get them. And then Kevin comes out to face Solo, and they fighting through the crowd, all this stuff. But then we have Tama and Toa in the ring with the Street Profits. Loa, I'm sorry, I keep saying Toa. Loa in the ring with the Street Profits, and that match was a gold start anyway. So we have both the Gorillas of Destruction. I'm looking at it saying, reading Destiny, saying Destruction. The Gorillas of Destiny, which is Tama and his brother Loa, against the Street Profits. So that match happens. And because that match has already taken place. So Heyman and B-Fab was both at ringside, and Ford and Dawkins controlled the pace against Tama, and it was a really competitive match. Like, it was really good. It was actually a good match to see how Tama and Loa were going to be together as a tag team, but it was good. We didn't make a huge deal out of Loa's debut, but it was good. I think it was very competitive. The longer the match went, the more competitive it became. So nobody had control for too long. It was definitely a back and forth sequence, and it was good. I enjoyed this match as well. I thought it was, very solid between the two. It's so funny. I just caught that. I really just caught that. The Gorillas of Destiny. Their acronyms is God, so they are God. Interesting. Interesting fact. But it was a good match, and it was hard to look past that they didn't put a lot of huge effort into Loa's in-ring debut, and it didn't feel like it was a big deal to hype them up. But I think they were going to wait until like next week to make a huge deal about Loa's Loa's thing, because next week we find out that Solo is going to officially induct Loa into the bloodline. So that, I think that's what they're going to do or try to do. And just FYI, I thought their ring gear was so good. It kind of reminds you of like a superhero X-Men type deal. So I kind of liked God's ring gear. So that's just a side note. Um, then we had um Naomi and Bailey versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. And this was the main event of the night. And it was set up earlier in the show. Like I said, we did have, wait, before I get into that, we did have some backstage segments between Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair against Indy Hartwell, because Indy came up to the two of them and were like, do you feel good about yourself hurting Candice? Now she's at home with her knee hurt. And Bianca was like, she came and started with me first, and I just finished it. So if you mad at anybody else, be mad at your girl for starting it. If she didn't want to start none, wouldn't be none. So And so Jay was like, and you just look like you trying to start something right now. So what's up? Are you trying to start something? Are you sending for me? Are you calling me? What is it? What's going on? You look like you sending for me. And so Indy was like, I ain't saying nothing. And Jay was like, oh no, I feel and this is me saying, Jay was like, oh no, I feel like I heard the call, ring ring. You called for me, you were sending for me, so therefore we will come. And so next week we will have a match against Indy Hartwell against Jade Cargill, which I am excited to see. Then we also, they gave us a list of matches that is to come next week. We have Angel Garza against Apollo Cruz, because of what happened, because Apollo attacked Angel backstage, was like, stay out of my business. So we got that match next week. And yeah. So, like I said, main event was Bailey and Naomi versus Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. And there was a high energy, fast paced match, which allowed all women to show off a bit. But Naomi was a bigger standout. Like, her athleticism was crazy in this match. But we know that about Naomi. Like, she is like so good, in the ring. And I can't wait until we get back to that point where she's back in the championship contendership conversation and she wins again, because we need the glow belt to come back and make an appearance. WWE, if you're listening, we need the glow belt to make a return appearance. Period. We need that. That is the best women's belt ever. We need that belt back. Thank you. We need it back. But it was, like I said, Naomi kind of ate, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the outcome. But Naomi ended up getting pinned and Green and Niven won. It was some great tag work between Piper Niven and Chelsea Green to get the pin on Naomi. I particularly don't care for that, because y'all know me. I'm a Naomi stan, and so I always want Naomi to win. But I understand what they're doing. They need Piper to look very dominant going into this feud with Bailey, and so they had to have them win, and so they can say they got a pin on Bailey and Naomi, and da da da. I don't like Naomi being the scapegoat and the pin here and all of that stuff, but whatever. I'm going to trust the process. Trust the process, but whatever. Whatever. So then we have AJ Styles come out because he's going to give his words, and he stopped backstage and was saying, "Hey, LA Knight stopped him, gave him some love, telling him if this is what it is, he respects him." He saw Cody in the backstage area. He whispered something in his ear and walked away. Um, then we saw him talking to the OC, and he was like, "It's only fitting that you guys come out here with me. Y'all been there every step of the way. I want y'all out there with me now." And so he comes out and he does this speech about how um, he went to his son's graduation and it was lovely, and he had a graduation party afterwards at the house, and all the family and his friends were there, and it was a great time. They had a great time, and he was like, it hit him like, wow, how many of these have I missed? These moments where I could be spending time with my family and enjoying that. I just feel like I've missed so much because I've been all over the world and I've been becoming phenomenal, and I wanted to be phenomenal. And he was like, maybe, he said, and in that moment I was like, I feel like I've done everything I can do in my career to be a phenomenal wrestler. Now I probably want to maybe I want to be a phenomenal dad. And I don't know about it. He was just like, the OC did the final, too sweet thing together. And so he was like, I whispered something in your ear, Cody, and I asked you to come out when I called you, and you said you would. So I'm calling you if you can come out. And so Cody comes out, and everybody's happy and cheering. And he was like, I'm happy to say that one of my best match that I ever had was in Lyon with you at Backlash. The crowd was great. He mentioned how Nick Aldis told him if he wanted another shot at the championship, he had to go to the back of the line, and how that sat with him all week. And he was like, I don't think I have that left in my career to start at the back of the line for this championship. I don't have it in me. I don't have it. I just don't. I think I want to, be a phenomenal dad and all that stuff. And so he was like, so Cody was like, I just want you to know I respect you. He said, we've only ever exchanged one text between each other, and it was right after Backlash, and how I asked if you were okay, and you said everything is good, little bro, and how that was so special. And so he was like, I can speak for me, and I think I could speak for everybody in the locker room, that we love you, you're great, we respect you, and we appreciate you, and we thank you for being the big bro that you've been for most of us in the locker room. And it was all very mushy and sappy, and it was sweet. And in that moment, I was like, this is so not over. I was watching and I was like, AJ Styles did not take that time to get that big and buff again. Like, AJ looks incredible right now. He's in phenomenal shape. Like, he take off his jacket and it's like bam, bam. Like, AJ Styles did not go and get all big and swole to come back, lose one match, and retire. I was like, nah, I'm not buying it. Not buying it. And him and Cody are hugging, and they putting their hands up, and he taking them around the ring, giving all the crowd to let him have his hands up. And just as I knew it, AJ attacks. Uh, he attacks Cody, and yeah, he clotheslines him, and he starts beating him up, and it gets to the point where the OC is stopping the referees from coming down the aisle. AJ is throwing the steel chair steps over, and he does a Styles Clash to Cody on the floor. I was like, are we really doing this? Are we really doing this? Are we really trying to repeat Mark Henry's fake retirement speech? Are we really doing that? Like, nobody's going to beat that. I don't care how you do it, what you do. Nobody's going to beat that moment because Mark Henry had everybody fooled. I was not fooled for this moment, but I was fooled with Mark Henry. I was like, oh, he's really retired. He's gone. He's done. And it just wasn't convincing. And I knew it. I was like, the second he asked Cody to come out and doing all that, like, nah. But I'm glad AJ's not retiring. Not that I wanted AJ to retire. Let's just get that clear. I'm glad he's not because, like I said, he came back looking extra good. Like he's in a very good place in his life. Like he looks amazing. I feel like he got 2 more runs left in him, not just one. And I feel like he could do it. And I wouldn't be mad if AJ did it. Like, let AJ win the title. I don't mind that. Good. But I didn't buy it. I guess they had to go about it this way. I guess. I don't know. I didn't really buy it. I thought Mark Henry did it better, but it is what it is. AJ is not retiring. He just wanted to make sure he was not at the back of the line for Cody's championship. And he knew the best way to do that is to make sure that Cody wanted to fight him. And so that is what he did, which I'm not mad at because I feel like we can probably get Cody and AJ at Clash the Castle. Sure. Great. Great. Because that was a really good match at Backlash. And I knew if they would go run it again, this would be the perfect time to do so. So let's see what happens. It was fine. I wasn't that mad at it. I wasn't mad at it either way, but it was good to me. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it worked out fine, and I was okay with it. But that's what it was. Overall, I thought the show was fine. It was a good, solid show. I don't think it was anything too crazy. It was just a good, solid show. And we got to start getting ready for Clash of the Castle. I don't know if that's more of a Raw pay-per-view ish. I don't know, but I'm just excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens, and I think it's going to be a good show, and we're going to talk about it. So stick around here, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell on your way out because we are going to talk about Clash of the Castle coming up, along with our weekly shows and all of that. We also have 3 other channels that you could check out. Go in our description below into our link tree. You can get the links to all of our YouTube channels and all of our audio platforms as well, and our membership channels as well, where you get early access and exclusive content on our membership channels. And yeah, we appreciate all of you for sticking around. You can follow us on all of our socials at the CUP Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can follow me if you want on TikTok or on Twitter. And this is my Instagram handle. If you want to do Instagram, that's me. And you can keep scrolling down and you can get the link to our cup merch, not limited to the cup mug, but it's there along with other cup merch. We have shirts and fanny packs and sports bottles and all kind of things. So socks and hats, go check that out. Get your cup merch. And yeah, we appreciate you joining us. Well, me. I appreciate you joining me. And I will be back next week, same time, same channel. And cheers. I didn't know what else to say right there, but yeah. Bye. Cheers. See y'all next week.